Look how him already. Look how him already.
I went across the peaceful sea, couldn't find one to compare to your grace, your love, your mercy. Nobody greater, nobody greater than you. You're so shallow, couldn't find nobody. I looked high and low, still couldn't find nobody. Nobody great, nobody greater, no. Nobody greater.
My name is
All right, good morning, everyone. We are going to begin with devotion, and we encourage microphones. You can turn your cameras on because it is lovely to see you all. To see you are so beautiful and handsome this morning. You can turn your cameras on, but always ensure your microphone is muted. The only person whose microphone should be unmuted is the person who is speaking. And right now, Miss Thomas will be the person who will be speaking. I am going to mute my microphone and Miss Thomas will take over. So always ensure your microphone is muted. Parents, Mrs. Reed, Mr. Foster, you're not hearing me?
yeah, Miss.
Hearing me now? Yes, Miss, we are
Yes,
hearing you
Miss.
and we are seeing you. We are hearing you and we are seeing you. If you are not hearing, please text it in the chat. As I said, keep your microphones muted. We are hearing you, Miss, and we are seeing you. Please go ahead. Hearing me, students?
Yes, Miss.
Yes, Miss.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes, Miss.
great. Okay, good. So, good morning, everyone. It's nice seeing you. Is my connection on? I'm not sure what's happening. We're hearing you, Miss. Go ahead. I'm not doing anything or anything. So I was just wondering if I'm still in. All right, so I will go right ahead. I'm not sure what's happening. If you're not hearing me or seeing me, you can just let me know before. Um, or, all right, so I'm going to play this song for us. It is just to refresh us and give us a timely reminder that through it all, our God will come through for us. So our theme for this morning is God will us. So even though we're in our storm, let me go again.
That you see. When I hear nothing.
All right, we have 82 persons on a Google Meet call. We are we are all at home on lockdown. Just about every parent everywhere is online with their children. So we are experiencing what is called online traffic. That's what we are experiencing this morning. So we are going to be patient. We are going to sit. We will have a devotion and we will continue our orientation. And as I said before, if you are not hearing, text in the chat. Do not unmute your microphone. If you unmute your microphone, I will have no choice but to remove you from the meeting.
Right. So it's just me.
You will hear the song in a minute.
He's doing.
You have to let's see. Boy. Yeah, Eva go in a class tomorrow.
What the-
Right, I cheer for me again.
When you reach out, said you turn on your
Good
camera.
morning.
All right. So I'm just reminding you this morning that we have been through so many things before, and God came through for us. So, with everything that's happening currently, we should just trust Him and believe that He will indeed come through for us one day. All right, so our scripture from Psalm 55, reading from verse 1 to 10. And give ear to my prayer, O God, and me
It says, grandchildren for the aged, a crown, while being the pride of the parents. John 16, verse 21 says, a woman goes through much pain in birthing, which she forgets joyously after her child is born. And after having two children, I can say this scripture is indeed correct. I'll repeat. St. John chapter 16, verse 21. A woman goes through much pain in birthing, which she forgets joyously upon seeing her child being born.
digital technology, we will ensure that we get the best we can get under the circumstances. So, on behalf of the Board of Management and the Ministry of Education, welcome back to school. Welcome back to school, despite the challenges that we are facing, but we will not give up. Your education is our well being. And I'm really asking all the parents to work with us, work with the school. Your school is very committed to the process. Your teachers are very professional people. As you can see, they are very dedicated to the task. And let us work together to ensure that we get the best education for all our children. All, I must emphasize. Those that are not participating in the process of the process of teaching and learning, we are going to find you, and we will be working with you to see how we can get you in the process. But every child should learn, and we are determined that every child that is under our control, under our teaching or tutelage, must learn. So it's a pleasure to be here with you, and Uncle Maxi will have other things to share with you. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day, and welcome to school, and let us work towards having the most productive and exciting year ever. Thank you very much, Ms. Brown. Thank you, Mr. Deslandes.
And thank you too, Mr. Foster. Thank you so much for your kind words. And I'm sure we feel welcomed this morning and we look forward to a great year. All right, so now we're going to ask Uncle Maxi to come in and give us a few words. So let's give Uncle Maxi a minute. I know he's in the meeting. Uncle Maxi, could you just unmute for me, please, and bring your greetings? All right, I'm not seeing Uncle Maxi. I'm not sure what's happening. All right, so in the meantime, while we wait on Uncle Maxi, I'm not sure what's happening on his side. Maybe it's the internet. We're going to do the school's creed. We've been doing the school's creed for 5 years now, so we all know it. So if you're lying down, just shake up yourself, sit up straight, and let's do the school's creed. Mr. McPherson should be doing the school's creed for us. Sir Mac, are you ready? Sir McPherson? All right, I know Sir was in the meeting, but I'm not sure what happened.
Yes, Miss, I am here. Forgive me, colleague. Forgive me, Miss. I am here. It's just that I'm sharing the screen so to be trying to maneuver both of them. So, but I'm here nonetheless. So it's my turn for the school's creed.
Sir Mac,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Miss. I'm here.
just a second. Uncle Maxi fell off, but he's back on. But you can go ahead with the school creed. School creed.
Okay, Miss. Not a problem. Okay. Thank you. So, our school's creed. This is our school. Let peace dwell here. Let the rooms be full of contentment. Let love abide here. Love of God, sorry. Let love abide here. Love of one another, love of mankind, and love of sorry, why am I so nervous? Calm down, Andre. Okay.
Mr.
Let's go.
McPherson, it is on the
No, I'm not using the slide, miss.
slide. Go back
I'm
to
not
sharing
using the
your
slide.
screen. It is on the slide.
Oh, I'm actually not using the slide. Give me a second, please.
All right,
Okay,
sir.
let's go. Here we go. Let's have it right. Our school's creed. This is our school. Let peace dwell here. Let the rooms be full of contentment. Let love abide here. Love of one another, love of mankind, love of life itself, and love of God. Let us remember that as many hands build a house, so many hearts make a school. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sir McPherson.
So I
The
now go back to
students,
share my screen as well. Give me a second, please.
students, when you're in class and we call on you to participate, us teachers get nervous as well. But Sir McPherson, he got nervous and he got through it and he did it. So thank you so much, Sir McPherson. I know Miss had said Dr.
Appreciated.
Mullins is on.
Yes, Dr. Mullings is back on with us.
All right, so I'll just give him a minute to unmute. Whenever you're ready, Uncle Maxie. Just giving Uncle Maxie a minute. You know, sometimes technology gives a little issue. So we're just giving Uncle Maxie a minute.
He's actually speaking, but we are not hearing him.
Oh,
Probably. Need to check the audio. Probably it's muted.
Hello, Miss. Morning. Hello.
parents. I think I'm hearing a parent or it's
Yeah,
a
morning, morning.
child. We
Please,
mute
sir,
our
please do
mics,
not
please.
unmute and speak to me. You can't do that. Sir, please mute your microphone. I will call you on the telephone. You're having some Wi-Fi issues yourself. All right, myself, Uncle Maxi, and Miss Thomas, we're in the same zone. So I will not experience any internet challenge this morning. And we understand why Uncle Maxi, you're not hearing Uncle Maxi. It's similar challenge to Miss Thomas. So as the day progress, or as our session progress, Uncle Maxi can unmute and speak. As the day goes, the connection, about 10, 11, the issue subsides in this area. As I said, there are many children online, hence the challenge. Miss Brown, I hand back over to you. You can go ahead and continue the program.
Okay, so while we wait for Uncle Maxi, we ask Mrs. Reed, or acting principal, to come and share with us this morning. I'm sure we all know Mrs. Reed. So let's welcome Mrs. Reed as she comes.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning,
To our
Mrs. Reed.
moderator,
Good morning.
Ms. Brown, Mr.
Good
Foster,
morning.
board chairman of the board, or Dr. Mullins, vice chair, to our acting vice principal, Phil Reynolds, teacher, to our PTA president, Mr. Spence, I hope he's back on, teachers, parents, guardians, students. The fact that you see acting principal means something. This is what our Dr. Mullins still is going to do, should have done before, but he will come back on. So the fact that you see acting principal, that should tell you something, that Mr. Richards is no longer with us. I will just say that part, and as soon as our Dr. Mullins um, comes on, he will tell you more about that. Okay? It certainly then is a.
Good morning, are you hearing me? Hello?
Yes, Dr. Mullins, we're hearing you. All right, you know what? Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll wait. Go ahead.
You're so gracious.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Good morning, everybody. Sorry about that disruption. And it's, but first of all, I must say, hey, boys and girls, how are you all doing? It's nice to be in your space again, even in this virtual platform. Glad to see you. Raise your hands if you can see me as I raise mine. Great, great. As Vice Chairman of this noble institution, I bring greetings on behalf of the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, and the Board of Management of Tankati Primary School to the dedicated management team and staff of Tankati Primary School, the parents, caregivers, members of the school community, and most of all, our most valuable asset, yes, the students. The method of teaching and learning has moved a step forward or further up the ladder of education and development with its online teaching and learning blended modality. That is face-to-face and online teaching for all students. Yes, every child, every boy, every girl. It therefore means that teachers, parents, caregivers, and guardians will have to familiarize and or improve their knowledge and ability to assist in this era of technological advancements. The school's administration is experiencing a change of leadership because of the resignation of its principal due to ill health and the advice of his medical team. We wish Mr. Sheldon Richards a speedy recovery. He has poised the school in an admirable position. The vice principal, Mrs. Winsome Reed, will act in the capacity of principal, and Mrs. Michelle Trade Reynolds as vice principal, while we wait on the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information for further directions. If the Tankati Primary School is to maintain its admirable posture or go further up the ladder, then we need all hands on board. That is teachers, parents, guardians, caregivers, and the school community. Also students cooperating with their teachers. The Board of Management, along with the Ministry of Education, Youth, and Information, are doing their part in making sure that all schools have connectivity, that all students have an environment that is conducive for the teaching and learning process, that no child is left behind in the teaching and learning process. Remember to follow the protocols. Wash hands regularly. Sanitize frequently. Wear a mask properly and maintain the physical distance. Boys and girls, it's your school. It's another opportunity for you to learn, to grasp all you can, to make yourselves citizens that Jamaica land we love, and the people that live and those who visit will be proud of you, that you can make your mark in society, a mark that will be admired and be envied in an admirable way that is socially acceptable, a mark that builds character, personality, that develops a nation, a country, a mark that all we want to strive at. Be that mark, be that goal That's all we want to strive for. God bless you all. And in all thy ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct thy path. God bless you all.
Mrs. Reed?
Thank you, Dr. Mullins. So now you heard from Dr. Mullins. Let me continue. So it certainly is a pleasure, teachers, parents, board members, to be on this platform to welcome you on behalf of the staff to the 2021-2022 school year. We are looking forward to a productive partnership with you, parents, to ensure, and guardians, to ensure that our students, your children, reach their full potential. We know that in order for our children to be successful in school, they require help both from home and from school. And we're confident that our collaboration with you will have a significant impact on your child's schooling. And therefore, we share the obligation as partners for our children's success. And we want you to know that we at the Cloncarthy Primary School are committed to doing everything in our power to see that the children succeed this year in spite of the many challenges. We had hoped that we would be welcoming you face to face, but then, as you all know, that has been delayed because of the increase in COVID cases. Nonetheless, we're thankful to God that we're able to be engaging even now, and will engage the students virtually until the cases go down. And so, just to announce this morning that we are now part of the ministry's LMS system, learning management system. Now, you some of the challenges this morning, but we're glad that so many of you are on. One of the things we realize as well is that the ministry, you would have heard me mention some of it on Friday, is that the ministry has embarked on other modalities to help you and to help us, to help your children to get the best out of learning for this year. And so I'm going to run through them again. Your teachers have the websites. They will share the different websites with you. Also, parents, we ask that you listen to the media, because they are always announcing what is happening. And so you can access learning through what we call the Learning Hub online and the Cheetah Per, okay, the Book Fusion platform. There's a website, as I said before, you will learn them. Jam learning resources are available as well, and these lessons are aligned to the national standards curriculum, the same thing that the teachers will be teaching your children. What is new this year, and I'm excited as well, is that the ministry also has introduced audio-visual learning. Lessons will be provided. They'll be guided by a national timetable using what we call our meaning electronic homeschool network. You all should be familiar with PBCJ, the MOEYI again, Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. They have a YouTube channel, and of course, they will carry content for all levels from grades 1 to 6, Monday to Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Of course, Digicel has partnered also with the ministry with the Go Loud app, and this also will be the audio lesson. So you see, parents, that we have several avenues that your children can learn from And so we ask that you join and you be a part of the learning. When the children were in grade 4, you remember that they should have done the grade 4 leg of the PEP exams. This did not happen. And if you can recall, this was deferred to this school year. The last meeting I was in with the Ministry of Education, the Minister of Education, Dr. Kazan Troop, Chief Education Officer, and the Permanent Secretary, Dr. Grace McLean, is that they were working out what they call the logistics. How they should go ahead to set the exams, which date, and all the things that will be involved, so that the children can do the exams. At this time, it has not been worked out. As soon as it's worked out, then we will pass same on to you. One of our major problems last year we recognized was the number of children number of children who were engaged online. We want that to be increased exponentially this year, especially with grade 5. We do not want your parents to underestimate what will happen in grade 5. This is an important leg of the PEP exams. Bear in mind that these children have not done the grade 4 leg of the exams. And so parents, we recognize the difficulty that will arise from time to time. But it is important that you liaise with your child's teacher. It is good that I'm seeing that at least 98 of you on. Well, probably about 94 because we have teachers and board members and myself on. But what I want you to do is to keep in touch with your child's teacher. If you're having difficulty with device, with data, whatever it is, do not allow the children to not participate in teaching and learning. It will be to their detriment, parents. I'm also going to ask that for this year, you be your brother's keeper, your neighbor's keeper. Why? If it is that you see some children that are a part of Cloncatholic and you're wondering, how is it that your child is online and they are not? Speak with us. We want to know, because the thing is, sometimes we have phone numbers and we are not getting through to you. We want our numbers to be up this year. I have to give a report to the board. I have to give a report to the ministry. And so I want Cloncatholic to be one of those schools where we have at least 90%. Heard me? At least 90% engagement. I am aiming for 100, right? But at least every day. So parents, please, please, please try your very best. Those who are not on, even for today, I don't know why, you may have them near to you. And so we want it to be, it's going to be collaboration, it's going to be partnership, doing your being your brother's keeper for this year. And so parents, let us all just commit ourselves to what I call the pursuit of excellence in all that we do. Let us strive to grow and to continue to be more beings. Ask for help, ask for support, and let us endeavor to make this school year 2021, 2022 an eventful, prosperous, and productive year. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Mrs. Reed. Did we all hear what Mrs. Reed said? She gave us so much information in one, but hold on, give me a minute, please. All right, my apologies for that. Now, as I was saying, Mrs. Reed gave us a lot of information in a short space of time. But the greatest thing is, as long as you are in contact with your class teachers and you let them know what information you need, then you should be able to get it. We are a family, we work together. As the name suggests, we are a clan. And if one teacher needs something, we provide it. So we are all a family, so we all work together. So whatever information it is that you might need, your grade teachers should be able to get it to you. Or you, the parent, you can share with each other. Because as I just said, we're a family and we work together. So if it is that you need Miss Brown, you cannot get to Miss Brown, you know another parent might be able to help, utilize it. We have to work. We want those nice words. Ashika said intelligent. Tawny said terrific. Mr. Spence said dynamic. Kimani said kind. I'm not seeing some persons. Let me see them. Shaquan said shy. Shy is not a positive word. We're going to shake off the shyness this year. We're not shy. Sashana said success. Daniel says disciplined. I love that one. Love that one. Jaron said joyful. Akelia said amazing. Bianca is using a K word, so that's not correct. Good, Bianca, you fixed it. Bianca said brave. Paris said positive. Par said courageous. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And as we go through this school year, I want you to keep these positive words in mind. Always try to keep the positive words in mind. So like Miss Brown, her name is Anika. It starts with an A. So I'm ambitious. And for the rest of the year, I'm going to make sure that in whatever I do, I show my ambition. So if you say that you're kind, if Kaylee says she's kind, Kaylee must be kind for the rest of the year. And if Shaquan says he's smart, Shaquan must be smart for the rest of the year. So we're going to hold on to these positive words as we go through the school year. All right,
Yes, I
so
don't have
we're
the chat.
finished with that. No, somebody's not listening to me. I said if you don't have the chat, that's fine. That's fine. All right, so now we're going on to the next item, which is our coordinator's address. And we know that our coordinator here in grade 5 is Miss Deslandes. So I'm going to hand over now to Miss Deslandes. Miss Deslandes, your positive word, please.
My positive word was sent. Mine is kind. Kali Panther, you have been unmuting your microphone all morning. The next time you unmute your microphone, you will be removed from the meeting. I have said it many times, and Miss Brown keeps saying it. If your chat is not working, you leave it alone and just listen. Obedience is key. Children obey your parents. Children obey your teachers. If you are not obedient, then we have challenges in life. All right, you are hearing the beautiful sound of my voice again. It was not planned this way, but for some reason today, you are hearing my voice over and over. I will not be long. And as I said before, I am speaking to the parents, I'm speaking to the children, and I am speaking to us as teachers. My theme for this morning is why not? My theme for this morning is why not? And look at, please do not unmute, and look at this. Why not give up the orientation this morning?
Okay, Miss.
Why not just remove Gianna and Kali from the Google Meet? Why not close the entire thing since we are having so many challenges and just walk away and tell you to join class? Why not give up? Why not just stop everything that you're doing? Because it seemed to you that it's not working, don't? So why not give up? Why not? Why not stop? And I think the Lord knew what my theme was this morning when he gave us these challenges, because nothing we do here is of the devil. I just see the challenges as something to work on. Why not give up? Why not walk away? Why not refuse to answer your question that your teachers ask? Why not refuse to mute your microphones? Why not share your screen when you're not supposed to share your screen? Why not watch a video? Why not split your screen and watch a video and don't bother to listen to me or sir? Hmm? Parents, why not just leave the children alone since they're giving so much trouble and worse your lockdown right now and you cannot go anywhere, you cannot do anything. Hmm? 3 days of being locked away. Why not just come off this orientation that giving so much trouble? Hmm? And go watch some TV or go talk to your neighbor. Hmm? Why not? Why not goes in the direction that you want it to go? Why not goes in a negative direction and it can go in a positive direction like this morning? Why not push through? And despite the challenges that we are having right here, we are going to do an orientation. Why not give the two persons who are having challenges keeping the microphones muted a second chance or a third chance or a fifth chance? That's okay. Hmm? Why not pray? Why not ask the Lord for direction? Why not seek assistance? Why not goes in the direction you want it to go? And at grade 5, when we are bombarded that we don't have a tablet, we don't have a device, we don't know how to use Google Meet. As teachers, we're going to say to you, why not watch a YouTube video? Why not? Why don't you learn? Why don't you try? Hmm? We are not going in the direction, the negative direction of why not. We are going in the positive direction of why not. This is the new way of thinking. Last year we started orientation and we started school last year in a lockdown. Not in a
Yes,
lockdown. We started school last year not being able to go to face but to go to online. And this year we looked forward to the summer to get a break. And then we also looked forward to the summer where we would hear
Some
that
people get the vaccine.
where we would hear that we are going face to face. That's what we looked forward to this year. But it did not go in that direction. It did not go in that direction. It did not get better than last year, September, last year, October. It got worse. We are now in a lockdown. We are
Yes, miss.
starting school. Gianna, do not unmute your microphone. Text yes, miss, in the chat. We are in a lockdown, and sometimes in life, when we see things happening, we are thinking that it's going to get better. But the adults understand that right when you think there is a breakthrough, it gets worse. So instead of us breaking through online classes and coming into face-to-face classes, we went into a lockdown where there is no movement, but the rain will fall and the storm will get worse. But do you notice after Tropical Storm Ida how beautiful the sun was? Do you remember the day after the rain stopped falling and we came out the next morning? It was as if everything changed. When the sun started shining, things changed. And we wait as teachers, we wait as parents, we wait especially as students for the sun to shine again. All right, Mr. Spence. All right. At grade 5, the teachers will give you and your children the best opportunities there are. We, the teachers of grade 5, will provide your students with the best opportunities for your children to learn. Galatians 6, verse 9 says, Galatians 6, verse 9 says, and let us not grow weary, of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. I will repeat, Galatians 6, verse 9. It says, let us not grow weary, let us not grow tired of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. If we do not give up, in due time we will go back to face to face. We will not even remember that we were online in a lockdown. Years from now, we will look back
Yes,
at
Miss.
this and we will be smiling because we never expected this, and we know the change will come. 2 Timothy 4, verse 7 also says, I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Are you fighting the good fight? Do you intend to finish the race? Are you keeping faith? Hmm? I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Even our grandparents are still not fighting, still not finished fighting, sorry. They are still fighting. We never give up. We always keep on trying. At grade 5, there are certain things that are expected of you by the Ministry of Education. The Ministry of Education has grade 5 performance task exam. Normally it is done June of each school year. As Mrs. Reed says, it was not done last school year. But we are fighting the good fight, and we are looking forward to do our performance task exam this year. Performance task exam at grade 5 is 4 components. We have social studies performance task, mathematics, science, and the language arts. We do all 4 subjects in performance task, and as you go along, your teachers will explain to you what is performance task and what is expected of you. We will continue, even if we don't do an exam at grade 5, we will continue.
Yes, Miss.
Even if we don't do the performance task at the end of this year, your children will still be trained to do the performance task. So when they go to grade 6, they have the knowledge they need to do the grade 6 exam. Yes, yes, Alexandria, you can go and come right back quickly. In preparing your children for the grade 5 examination, the ministry has 4 C's that they developed, and these 4 C's are used in all components. If you look at the number, we're at 99. I just removed the disruptive child, so I don't expect anyone to try to take her position. All right? Collaboration, creativity, critical thinking, and communication are the 4 C's that will guide your child through their education process. Not because we are online, we will forget the four C's. And online can be exciting, online can be fun. As I started out by saying, why not? Why not make it the best opportunity that you have? Your parents, when we were going to school, we did not have a computer room. As parents, when we were going to school, we did not get the opportunity to do computer information technology as a subject. Now you are doing information technology by experience. When you all get to grade 11, grade 10, very soon you will be hearing of primary school children who are passing information technology at the primary level because there are many things that they have mastered. Our grade 5s last year who have gone off to grade 6 have gone off with many skills that they have learned. We hope you come to us with skills as well, and we will also develop those skills at grade 5. You will leave grade 5 thinking you are a technology professional. Parents, colleagues, and the grade 5 students, I will end by saying Philippians 2, verses 14 and 15. Do all things without grumbling or questioning, that you may be blameless and innocent, children of God, without blemish, in the midst of a crooked and twisted generation, among whom you shine as lights in the world. It's not coming from me, it's coming from the Bible. Philippians 2, verses 14 and 15. And your teachers will share these Bible verses with you to take you through grade 5. I am repeating Philippians 2, verses 14 and 15 again. Do all things without grumbling or questioning, that you may be blameless and innocent children of God, without a blemish, in the midst of a crooked and twisted generation, among whom you shine as lights in the world. It is indeed a crooked generation. There are many things that are happening that your grandparents and your parents will tell you they never dreamed that these things will happen, but they are happening. But how do you function in this world, in this society, will determine who you will become later in life. Welcome to grade 5. Welcome to your
Yes,
teacher.
Miss.
Welcome to Mr. McPherson. Welcome to Miss Thomas. And as Mrs. Reed and Miss Trail take on new positions, we welcome you. Welcome, Mr. Foster. Welcome, Uncle Maxie. Welcome, our guidance counselor, Mrs. Robinson. We welcome you all to grade 5. This is the year of why not? Positive why not? I hand over to Miss Brown. I'm marrying her off. I said it first, Mrs. Brown. Have a good day.
Okay. I'm sorry, Miss had me laughing. All right, so loved that message from Mrs. Landez, especially the scripture at the end. I know sometimes even we as adults, I know you parents can agree with me. You're given a task and you say, "Why me? What make them have to choose me?" But as Miss Deslandes said, we should do all things without grumbling and complaining. And instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "Why not me?" Instead of asking, "Why me speak for me?" say, "Why shouldn't me speak on me?" So we need to bear that in mind. We need to always ask ourselves that question: why not me? Instead of always
Yes,
saying,
Miss.
"Why me? Why is it happening to me?" Gianna, you've come back with the same thing. Do we need to remove you again, Gianna? Now, students, if you are being disruptive, we are going to remove you. You do not need to unmute to say yes, miss, or no, miss. Utilize the chat we have said from morning. All right, so we're going on to the next item, which is, well, let me not say item. Next person on our program will be our PTA president, the dynamic, as you said this morning, dynamic Derval Spence Sr. So, Mr. Spence,
Good
I know
morning.
Mr.
Good
Spence
morning.
was.
Good morning.
Oh, I see you now. I see you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sir Spence.
Okay, you're hearing me loud and clear, yes.
Yes, sir.
Chairman of the school board, Mr. Donald Foster. Vice Chairman, Dr. Mortimer Mullins. Acting Principal, Mrs. Winsome Reed. Acting Vice Principal, Mrs. Trey Reynolds. Grade Coordinator, Miss Deslandes, not Mrs. Deslandes. Grade 5 teachers, Miss Thomas, my son, former teacher, Miss Thomas. Welcome, Miss Brown and Mr. McPherson. Welcome to grade 5. Even though I've gone, left you guys. Parents, teachers, guidance counselor, Mrs. What's her name again?
Robinson.
Mrs. Robinson. Good morning, good morning. It is my pleasure to bring greetings on behalf of the PTA executive, our Vice President, Mr. Samuel Bodden, Secretary, Mrs. Carlene Brown, and Assistant Secretary, Miss Shanice Breckenridge. My words of encouragement this morning is basically to just implore you parents to please pay attention to information shared. Mrs. Reed mentioned a number of things earlier. She mentioned that there are some sites and television stations that will be broadcasting information that is very, very, very useful for us. I have shared these information. She sent them to me. I have shared them in the parents group. And if you are not a part of the parents group and you would like to be a part of it, you can just simply ask your teacher. I will send her a link. He or she a link, and you'll be added to the group. So it is very important for us to pay attention to those information. For whatever reason, you might not be able to log on whichever day. These are options that you can utilize. Also, I have been reiterating this for a couple of days now, that YouTube should be your best friend. Best friend. Anything that you require to know, try to find out for yourself. In this time, it's important for us as parents to assist our children as much as possible. And given the situation, the dynamic that we are in now, we need to assist as much as possible. So we need to get into the know. If we are not in the know, then you will get left behind. And so I'm imploring you to find the necessary tools to assist our children to be better able to learn within this new setup. I want to also encourage you guys to make sure that your trust and your confidence is in the Lord. Without God, we can do nothing. But with God, all things are possible. He is able to do exceedingly abundantly above which we ask or think. And so we need to ensure that our trust and our confidence is in the name of the Lord who make heaven and earth. It doesn't matter what you see happening around you. Please remember that Psalms 24 says, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. And I will finish with Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 5 and 6 that says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not unto your own understanding, and in all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful day. Happy New Year to you all. May God's blessing continue to keep and to keep you safe during this time. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Thank you, Mrs. Brown. Miss Brown, sorry.
What? Thank you, Sir Spence. Thank you so much. And if it's one thing that we can always count on you for, is to always bring the word of God to us, and you always cover the school with the word of God, and we thank you for that. Remember, as Mr. Spence said a while ago, we are to trust in the Lord. We all know that scripture. But we need to live it now, not just know it, but we need to live by it. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not unto thine own understanding. All right. So we just did a icebreaker before Mr. Spencer and Mr. Landis. So now we're going to do a little trivia. With this one, you have to listen carefully though. And remember, we do not unmute or mic. Whatever answer you might be asked to give, we will do it in the chat. So Mr. Mac first will be doing this trivia for us. So Sir Mac,
Okay,
Heard nobody.
thank you, Miss. Thank you so very much. I am sharing screen. Sorry about that. So I have to be skipping both slides. Sorry about that. Okay, so my trivia for this morning. Hope that my boys and girls have their thinking caps on. Okay, it's there. Okay, there we go. So this morning, I hope that you're listening carefully. Right. So we have a little question here for you. So, and the question is, or the situation I'll present to you. Martin is a scenario really, and you could answer the question after. So Martin is 25 years old and has been working in a meat mart for 5 years. He is 6 feet 5 inches tall and wears size 13 shoes. Through all of that, no one want for you to answer. What does Martin weigh? Type it in the chat. What does Martin weigh? Okay, hope you are hearing clearly what I was reading just now.
Repeat, sir. Can you repeat, sir?
Okay, listen carefully. I'll be going one more time. One more time, all right? So, Martin is 25 years old and has been working in a meat mart for 5 years. He is 6 feet 5 inches tall and wears size 13 shoes. What does Martin weigh? Type it in the chat.
Them wear meat.
Mr. Mac, I think you're muted. Mr. Mac, I think you're muted.
Unmute, sir. Unmute. You're
Okay,
mute.
sorry about that. Okay, thank you. I'm seeing some wonderful responses. Interesting. Okay, great job. 29 pounds. Okay, so in that scenario that was just expressed to you, boys and girls, that only shows us what it is that we must expect in grade 5. Because you know that you have to have our critical thinking skills coming out there. In this scenario, you have to be listening carefully. And those persons who said meat, you are indeed correct. All right. So it's not how much does Martin weigh? It says what does Martin weigh? Not how much does Martin weigh, but what does Martin weigh? So we have to be mindful of these things, boys and girls, as we go forward. Yes, we have to listen carefully, be critical thinkers, and be able to answer the question according to what is asked or expected of us. All right, boys and girls. So thank you for participating and have yourselves a wonderful rest of meeting. Thank you. Back to you, Miss Brown.
thank you, sir. No, I think my critical thinking hat wasn't on because I was writing down and calculating to see how much Martin weighed. And then I thought about it and I said, didn't say how much, but he said what. And exactly as sir said, we have to, this is what grade 5 will do for us. A lot of critical thinking. We have to look at the questions and fine tune them, pick them out piece by piece to see exactly what is what. So we have to put on our thinking caps for grade 5. All right, so the next person that will be speaking to you is our acting vice principal, Mrs. Trail Reynolds. So we welcome Mrs. Trail Reynolds. Mrs. Trey Reynolds here.
I'm using missing.
Samaya Watson, your mic is open. All right, so we're giving Miss. I know Mrs. Trey Reynolds was on this morning. I'm not sure if she fell off. I'm just give me a minute. I'm just checking to see if I see Miss on or if she fell off.
Looks like she fell off.
Yeah, I'm trying to search for her name.
She fell off.
All right, so while we try to get back Mrs. Trey Reynolds, we'll move on to the question and answer segment. So listen first, listen. If you, the parents, have a question, just raise your hand and wait until I call your name. Then you'll be given an opportunity to ask your question.
She's back, miss.
Okay. Mrs. Trey Reynolds is back. So we'll allow her to speak first. So just hold on to your questions. Mrs. Trey Reynolds, whenever you're ready, miss.
Okay, I'm the man. Why am I already touching it?
Can you hear me?
Yes, miss,
Yes,
go
you
ahead.
are.
Oh, finally, I have been having some issues from morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, let me start properly. Can you see me as well?
Yes, miss, we're seeing
Yes, you
you.
are. All right. So I have been having some issues from morning. I recognize that. The internet at my end is not going so well. I realize that. Even in my class, I recognize that it has been cutting off, and I had to be waiting until everybody come back. Nevertheless, I am here. So let me start with saying, Madam Moderator, Miss Brown, I'm not gonna marry you off this morning, Miss Brown. I
Thank you,
recognize
miss.
you. Chairman of the school board, Mr. Donald Foster, other members of the board of management, acting principal, Madam Reed, teachers, parents, and most importantly, boys and girls. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, miss.
Yes, but remember, you just type in the chat for me because this is going to be a little interactive, boys and girls. Because this morning I was asked to talk about the tripartite agreement. The tripartite agreement. So I am going to be sharing my screen with you as it relates to the tripartite agreement. And this is something that I know that being at grade 5, it is no longer whatever we're going through, boys and girls, is no longer a new norm. We now have a lot of experiences, boys and girls, and the experiences that we have got so far, not only with the internet, as I heard Miss Desmond is saying, but we have got in the experiences face to face as well. Now, with the experiences that we've got, it means that we are now wiser. We are now smarter. We are now stronger to do whatever we have to do. So, with me saying to you that we are going to be looking at the tripartite agreement, I know that this is not new to you because I know that you would have heard it from grade 1. Because for those persons who came into grade 1, and you had your orientation with us from grade 1, Mrs. Reed would have passed on the information to you regarding the tripartite agreement. And with her passing on the information to you, I know because it is of such importance to Cloncaffey Primary School, I know you would have been hearing it right throughout the grade, right throughout the school rather. So not only at grade 1, you would have heard it at grade 2, you would have heard it at grade 3, you would have heard it at grade 4. Why you would have heard it right throughout the school? Because it is one of the documents that we believe is of extreme importance to not only to you boys and girls, but to teachers, to the parents, Every time you hear your chairman talking about it or your acting principal talking about it, you will hear about what is called the tripartite agreement. Now, when we say tripartite, I want to share my screen. Can you give me permission, please? How is there stalling? Mr. McPherson, you're presenting. I'm going to take over, right?
That's okay, Miss. Go ahead.
That's okay? All right, good. So this tripartite agreement that we're talking about, boys and girls, have you ever heard that part of the word try? Type in the chat. And Miss Brown, could you please help me while they're typing in the chat? When we say try,
No
boys
problem,
and
miss.
girls, what comes to mind when you hear that part of the word try? Boys and girls, what are you seeing there, Miss?
So,
When
Sophia said try to do something. Christopher said
uh-huh.
3.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly said never give up.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the ones I've
All
seen thus
right. Thank you
far.
very much. Thank you very much. And you know, I love even the one that says try to do something. Because this is what it's all about today, trying to do something. But that's not what we're talking about right now though. That try that we're talking about, that
My
TRI,
name is Roman Diablo.
that TRI that we're talking about, boys and girls, it stands for three. So with the three that we're talking about everything that has to do with you, everything that has to do with a parent, but not only that, everything that has to do with us as teachers. So when we talk about the tripartite agreement, it is something that you have to sign. And when I say you have to sign, the boys and girls will have to sign, the teachers will have to sign, and the parents will have to sign. Now, this tripartite agreement, when you sign, boys and girls, it is of importance that you read and you understand what you have signed. No, it was signed from grade one when you just came in. For those new parents who came in grade two and grade three and grade four and right now at grade five, you would have been given that in your package as well for you to sign. Now, those tripartite agreements are given to one is left with you, the parent, and one is kept at school and it's placed on the student's file. Because you know what? We want you to understand that this is something serious. They consider the tripartite agreement as a legal agreement, right? And it's a legal agreement among three persons. So that is why the teachers will have a copy, the parents, you too, will have a copy. And maybe because the children are underage, we do not give them their own copy. But parents, always remember that you must keep your copy with you. And if you don't have a copy of it, parents, please ask for one so you know exactly what you have signed. So, what is it all about? The first person to sign is the student. And the student, when you sign, as I said, you're at grade five now, so most of you can read. And I heard them talking about critical thinking. I heard them mentioning that you have to read into whatever you're signing. And whatever you're signing, whatever you have signed, you must understand what is it you have signed. Now, for your part, boys and girls, I am not going to read it through for you. I have just put it in small bits so you can read it yourself. And if you want a copy, I'll send it to you so that you can have the copy so you know for sure what you have done. So for your part, boys and girls, you recognize that some of the statement will talk about attendance. When I say attendance though, what do I mean? Could you please type it in the chat? What does it mean when we talk about attendance, boys and girls? Are we seeing anything, Miss Brown?
Not as yet, miss.
Attendance. When I say attendance, what does that mean?
Somebody says like participate.
Okay. Anything else?
Just that one so far.
Just that one. So I am happy I paused to say attendance. Come on, grade 5. I want to know who understands that term attendance.
Somebody
Grade.
said when you attend to something, it's like participate when you attend to something like a meeting.
Okay.
Kazil said to participate in something. John said you attending a meeting.
Okay.
Jaden said I don't know.
Okay.
Aishika says have respect.
Okay.
Kerry-Ann says how you come to school.
Okay, right, Carrie-Ann. And that's the one I'm looking for, Carrie-Ann.
Being
That's
present.
being pressed. Oh, that is the one that I'm looking for. Yes. How you being at school. And you know what, boys and girls, we're not there face to face right now, but you are at school online. So what we want of you, boys and girls, is for you to be there at school and be there on time. So if your teacher says school starts, online school starts at 8:15, I know all the boys and girls should be online before 8:15 so that you can be settled. So it is being there. It is not missing out on classes, boys and girls, because you know when you miss out on class what happens. Once you're missing out on classes, then you know for sure that you're going to be missing out on lessons. And that is when you're going to be missing on what is important for you to do. So yes, was it Kelly who said being at school? That's the one that I was looking for. There are some parts of the tripartite agreement too that talk about participation. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Nothing as it, miss.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Type in the chat, Kirkpatrick.
To be involved, to be
Uh-huh.
included in something.
Mm-hmm. Right. Very good, grade 5. Very good. So what you're doing now with me, although I'm telling you to type it in the chat, you are being involved. So when the teacher asks you a question, boys and girls, it's not just to sit down and say, I don't know. Right? It's to think about it. One of my lecturers some time ago said you're either positively wrong or positively right. So it doesn't matter whether you're wrong or you're right, boys and girls. That is when your teacher, if you are wrong, that is when your teacher and your parents will correct you, right? So you need to participate as much as possible. And don't ever think that, oh my gosh, I don't really want to say that because I am not sure if I am right. No, boys and girls. No, it must be a case that whether you're right, yes or no, but you're putting your voice in your classroom so that everybody, your teacher can benefit. Jaime, could you please mute your mic? Thank you. Thank you, Jaime. So that your teacher can benefit, so that your classmates can benefit as well. Boys and girls, I know the teacher may not tell you, but can I tell you a secret? Did you know that as teachers, we learn from you as well? Did you know that? Yes, as teachers, we learn from you as well. So all of the games that you're playing with the Roblox and all kind of stuff, yes, man, we do. We do learn from you as well, boys and girls. So participation is important. So when your teacher asks you a question, then you must ensure that you have a voice. Sometimes you must listen too. And then when you listen, sometimes you go do some research and you challenge your teacher. You know, miss, you actually said this. But then when I read what the author of this book said, he said this. And as such, I realize I'm thinking what I'm leaning towards what the author said than what you said. Participate, boys and girls. Give your teachers some research to do. All right. Another aspect of the tripartite agreement is behavior. And that is what we're talking about now, boys and girls, the behavior. So I know sometimes your hand is fidgety. Well, I don't think grade 5 hand should be fidgety now. So if we say to you, do not unmute your mic, you need to listen to what the teacher is saying, then we expect at grade 5, you understand that you do not unmute your mic because if someone is speaking, and I know grandma and mommy say that when someone is speaking, then you are not to be speaking at the same time. However, you need to raise your hand and then you will be acknowledged when the teacher is finished, right? So behavior is one of the areas that is within the area that all of you boys and girls had signed when you were when you were new students. Let me not say when you were at grade 1, when you were new students. So all of that, boys and girls, is what you would have done. And the other thing that is very important is that of work ethics. So you'll find that they'll say that you must hand in your work at all times. You are online now, and it is sometimes that I have heard sometimes that work is given and children are not handing in their work. Boys and girls, you need feedback. And with you needing feedback, it is important that you complete the task and you hand your work to the teacher so that the feedback is given to you. Remember what I said to you before? You do not have to know initially. However, that is why we are here at school, that we all can learn. So we are given each other feedback so that we can benefit from each other. So that is a part of the tripartite agreement that all of you boys and girls will sign, right? With that you have signed to. Now, there is the other part that, as I said to you, it is a 3-part. And this part is where the parent now will sign. Now, parents, this one is for you parents. As I said to you, I am not going to read it. So I want you to listen to everything. Thank you very much. So this part of it, parent, is for you. And this part, parent, oh, and my slide is not going, my slide is not going. Give me just 30 seconds and see what's happening. Give me 30 seconds, let me see what's happening. It is not going at all. All right, there you go. All right, so this one is for the parent, right? Now, this part of it, parents, put some responsibility on you. It puts a responsibility on you where you now are going to ensure that whatever the children signed off on, then they are doing what is it they said that they needed to do. Now, remember, ladies and gentlemen, that children, they always say children do not grow themselves. And often I have heard parents say to me, I can't bother because I'm not listening, or, I have to go to work, but parents, I'm going to be honest with you, children do not grow themselves. So this part of it, put the responsibility on you, the parent, to ensure that whatever the child has signed off on, then they will follow through on what is signed off on. Yesterday, when I spoke with the grade 6 children, I spoke to them about determination. It is not just being motivated to start the thing, but it's pushing forward every bit of the way, pushing forward in order to ensure that it is done. So because the children used to wake up 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the days during the summer, and then your teacher is telling you to wake up at 7 o'clock to get prepared and eat your breakfast and come online by 8 o'clock. Oh my gosh, I am so tired and I don't know why I have to go to school so early because I want to sleep until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. No, go to bed early, wake up early, being fresh and ready for work. Parents, again, this responsibility is on you. So if your child is saying, mommy, I don't want to get up, no, you have to ensure that the child is early. If the child is saying, I don't want to do any work today, no, parents, it is on you that the child is doing the work and doing the work correctly as well. Because you know what, parents, one of the things that I've noticed, if you speak with parents, a lot of parents, like in the schools that they have to pay for their children, and if you speak to even some of these parents at the primary school, you would have noticed that that the children who do exceptionally well are the parents are who are insisting that yes, you have to do the work. You have to do the work and you must do the work correctly. There are parents who are seeking out the teachers and saying to the teachers, you know, miss, I see you sent home this homework, but I don't understand it. Can you explain it to me? Right? It is ensuring that although the children you're coming home late at night, but the children are given that opportunity, parents, to do the homework, whether and then at the end of the day, you're actually in the kitchen cooking and you have the book one side looking at it to ensure that the work is done properly. And at the end of the day, if you realize something is wrong, parent, you're gonna call and say, Jaquan, come here, Jaquan. Tell me something. Why is this wrong? And we spoke about it yesterday. So it is putting that responsibility on you, parents, as to what is required of the children and what as an institution it is required of us as teachers. We want us as teachers. We want for you to be our assistants. Well, we will be assisting you really, but we want you to be there, right? And then the third part of the agreement is that of the school. And when we talk about the school, we're not just talking about the teachers, we're talking even about the principal and the vice principal. We have a responsibility to ensure that your children are learning. And as such parents, whatever is happening that you're not pleased with, because we would have signed it as well. So it means that because we have signed it, we have to be there monitoring to ensure that whatever is happening within the classroom then is what needs to what is expected of the teachers. So therefore, it is as a school, we have signed it so that you parents hold us legally responsible for your children and their learning. So there are times, though, parents, that you realize that maybe the children are learning a little slower than you expect them to learn. No, it is not just to sit down and not say, you know what, I'm just going to go with whatever is happening. But you need to speak with someone. I know you, when I came on, I heard Miss Deslandes closing off. So I know that you know that Miss Deslandes is your great coordinator. So I know as long as you're having issues and you're talking to your teachers and you're talking to your teachers, ladies and gentlemen, and then I'm sure your great coordinator will find solution. If she can't find a solution, she's gonna ask me, or she's gonna ask Mrs. Reed, or she's going to ask the guidance counselor, but she is going to ask to find a solution. If we can't find a solution, we're going to ask the vice chairman of the school board. We're going to ask the chairman of the school board. We're going to ask the Ministry of Education. Because you know what? We want your children to learn, and as such, it is important for us to sign the tripartite agreement as well. So that is what the tripartite agreement is. A date is given, and as I said to you, the student will sign, the parent will sign, the principal or the teacher will sign, and then it will be placed on your file and one given to you. It is a mouthful, boys and girls. But as you go through the year, I want to share a song with you as it relates to you can do anything that you want to do. Parents, this is for you too, a motivational song that you can do anything that you want to do. So just listen up. Oops. I'm sorry. And I want you to dance it out, boys and girls, and I want you to sing with me. Time, start again. I did it. There you go. Thank you very much, Madam Moderator. Thank you very much, Mr. Fernandez. Thank you very much, boys and girls.
I
Remember, remember, you can do it. Nothing is gonna get in your way. You can do it. Never stop until you say you did it. Enjoy your day, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Trill Reynolds. Kimani Moore and Kayla Keen, you need to mute your mics. You are disturbing the meeting. Thank you, Mrs. Trill Reynolds. Thank you for reminding us about the tripartite agreement. And in case some of you weren't listening, a part of the paper that you signed speaks to behavior. So we need to be on our best behavior at all times. It's not just a Miss Brown thing. It's not just a mommy and daddy thing. You are a part of it as well.
Can you repeat?
Tripartite. It means there are 3 different persons involved. Ramandia Brown, your mic is unmuted. Shouldn't still be telling you this. All right, so let's go. Now we're moving on to the question and answer segment. So here's how it will work. If you have a question, raise your hand. Raise your hand, and when I call on you, then you ask your question. Or if you don't want to, you can put your question in the chat, and I will read your question and you'll get an answer. So raise your hand if you have a question to ask. Or if you don't want to raise your hand and ask it, you can ask it in the chat and we'll answer the question. Mr. Sanders, you'd like to say something? Oh, I'm guessing not. All right, so I see 2 hands up. There's Khalid Planter. You may unmute and ask the question.
Good morning, parents, teacher, principal. I'm Khalid Plantamini. Question. For the government's book that they get, the textbook, when would it be ready for pickup?
Mr. Sanders, you want to take that one?
As Mrs. Reed said at the PTA meeting, all the books will be ready. The parents will be informed by the teacher. So as soon as the books are ready at school, we will inform you and tell you which day to go there to collect the book.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So Nathan Henry in the chat was asking the same question about the books. So I guess you would have heard that answer. Persons' mics are unmuted. Why? Dante Alexander.
Parents, you are however asked to purchase the books that are on the book list for purchase. All books are used at grade 5. So if you look on the book list, as Mrs. Reed had already explained at PTA meeting, you see some books provided by the ministry and some books you purchase. The books that are for purchase, we ask that you purchase the books. The books will be used in class.
Miss, can you send back the book list? I don't
Somebody is talking and your mic
If
is
you need
muted
to
and I
say
didn't
something,
call
it does
them.
not matter what it is. You raise your hand, and Miss Brown will call on you. So it doesn't matter how simple what you're saying is. Raise your hand, Miss Brown will call on you. And parents, I must say, I'm disappointed in parental control this morning. Many parents, many children are just doing what they want to do, and the parents are sitting right there. I am very disappointed in parental control.
All right, so the next question, I think Mr. Zander stepped away for a second. Kevin Reed, you have a question?
Yes, Miss. When are we gonna get the book list? Cause I don't have any books.
Good morning. All
Good morning,
book lists were issued. They were sent into, well, they should have been sent into the WhatsApp groups by the grade 4 teachers. If you haven't received a copy of the book list, I should be able to send one to you, to the parents. But all book lists were sent out.
Please mute ask the question, please.
If you haven't received one, speak to your class teacher. All right, Rain Jackson, you have a question?
Hello, Miss. When are we going to get the book list?
Repeat the question.
When are we going to get the book list?
I just answered that question.
Miss, we didn't hear you.
All book lists should have been sent out by your grade 4 teachers into the respective WhatsApp groups to the parents. If you have not received a copy of the book list, speak to your class teachers.
Okay, Miss.
Diana, you're still doing the unmuting of the mic again. All right, I see a few more hands. Shanoya McLaren, your hand is up.
Miss, when will you us use the book? Because I buy my favorite books and I never use them.
Ms. Deslandes
The
just
books
said
will be used at grade 5.
Okay, Miss.
Miss just said that I will be using the books in grade 5, all the books. So you need to buy all the books on the book list. All right, thank you, Shanoya. Carl Jackson, you're next. Carl Jackson, your hand is up. Do you have a question? We're not hearing you, Carl.
Carl, could text this question in the chat since we're not hearing. Send your question to the chat, Carl. Parents, the children who are sending about YouTube channel and games, I'm going to call out their names on the meeting. Please supervise. Once you see your child texting on the device, find out what the child is writing. Please, let's end the meeting properly. We are taking questions relating to grade 5, and there are children sending game messages and YouTube links in the chat, and we need to find out the questions that parents who are paying attention need answers to. And there are a few parents who will be getting some phone calls after this, because you need to be reminded of what online etiquette is. There are some things we don't do. Raise your hand, wait on Miss Brown. Miss Brown will call you. Go ahead, Miss.
Thanks, Miss. All right, so Kenisha Ferguson, you have a question?
Yes, Miss. When are we going back to school?
Face-to-face school?
Yes.
We'll have to wait on the government to decide that. We don't know. We don't
Okay.
know.
Okay.
As soon as we know, we'll let you know. Next question, Shake One Chambers.
Miss, what?
We're not hearing you, Shake One. Shake One Chambers, do you have a question? All right, I'm not hearing anything from that side, so I'll move to the next person. I'll come back to you, Shake One. Kali Planter, your hand is still up. Is it that you have another question?
Question. Extra lessons for grade 5. When extra lessons starts?
We haven't spoken about that as a grade. Mr. Zandez, would you like to speak on that?
For personal December.
I don't hear a question. What's the question?
You want something?
Raheem, I'm not hearing a question. All right, I'll leave Raheem and go to someone else because I'm not hearing anything there. Terence Atkinson, you have a question?
Yes, sir. Is it Google Meet or Zoom we are using?
Go again.
Is it Google Meet or Zoom meeting we are using tomorrow?
We're using Google Meet. As Mrs. Reed said, we're using Google Meet. It was paid for by the government. All of this was explained in PTA meeting the other day. And Mrs. Reed mentioned it this morning again.
And the children who were at class yesterday too, Miss Brown, all of these you were all showed a slide of all the things you would be using in class. All of this was explained in class yesterday. All of these things, 5, we are sending out information and all questions that are being asked. Go ahead, Miss Brown.
All right, so there's Ashika Clark. What's the question?
Miss, when is online starting back, Miss?
Online classes started yesterday. All right, let me see. Ashika, put down your hand. Let me check the chat for questions. This question says, will there be a grade 5 literacy test? We don't do literacy test anymore. We do performance task, and this question was answered already several times. We do performance task. Mr. Islandez said it this morning. Grade 5 usually do performance task in June. However, we're not sure what's happening this year because you should have done grade 4 exams last year as well. So we wait and see. All information will be sent to you. All right, so let me go back to this. Kayla Barker, you have a question?
Yes, Miss. Is online class officially open?
Say that again.
When online class officially started?
Class started yesterday. I just answered that question. I just answered it.
Miss, about double.
Don't do
Miss,
that,
what
Orain.
time you
Orain
must come
Ricketts,
on
don't do
class?
that. Gianna, we've been speaking to you from morning about your mic.
Sorry.
Carrie Ann Wallery, you have a question? Carrie Ann Wallery. or Woolery. My apologies. All right, I'm guessing she doesn't have a question. Kenisha, you have another question? Your hand is still up.
Miss, when we go back to school, who got to be our computer teacher?
I don't know. Parents, are there any other questions? I feel like it's just the children answering questions, asking the questions, and they're asking questions that we've answered before. Parents, do you have any other questions?
Yes, miss. Yes.
Kayla Barker, I see your hand up.
No, miss, not at the moment. Only that whenever the code will be changed. I think
I'm not hearing you. Somebody's talking, I'm not hearing them. I called on Kayla Barker, and it's not her I see talking. It's someone else. Check your mics and ensure they are muted. Natalia, you have a question? Natalia, I can't see the last name.
Or is that?
You have a question?
Yes, I was just asking if we're going to get a test.
What test?
Grade 5 test.
Repeat the question.
I'm asking when we're going to get the grade 5
And
test.
I'm not answering that question again because I've answered that question twice before. Miss Desland has answered the same question since morning, which means you're not listening. Kahif, you have a question?
Yes, miss. My name is Ishmael Price, and I'm asking if you have Saturday class online. Saturday class.
As Miss Desland has just said, we haven't sorted out all of that as yet.
Yes, miss.
We haven't sorted all of that as yet. As soon as we know any information, we'll let you know. All right, so
Yes,
that's
miss.
it for
Thank
the
you.
question and answer. You're welcome. I'm going to move over back to Ms. Deslandes, our coordinator, for the closing remarks.
Come on. All right, parents, teachers, students.
No.
As we come to the end of our grade 5 orientation, I implore you, I encourage you, I ask of you to communicate with your class teachers. I ask of you to pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. I ask that you pay attention. I ask children that you pay attention to your teachers. I ask parents that you pay attention to the WhatsApp groups. I ask that you pay attention. You will not be repeating a grade. Some of you, because of your age, that is nowhere possible. Online learning is not a joke. Online learning is not a game. I ask that you pay attention. I ask that you pay attention. It is not an opportunity to make fools of ourselves. It is not an opportunity to have a free year. I ask that you pay attention. Parents, pay attention to the information your teachers are sending to the WhatsApp group. There are some parents who are not familiar with WhatsApp group. Parents, if you don't understand, ask your class teacher. When the information comes, please read the information and respond to your teacher. Children, school have already started yesterday. Grade 5 started school.
Bianca Daly, your mic is disturbing the meeting.
Clancarty Primary started school yesterday. Please pay attention to your teachers, both parents and children. We thank you for your patience. We thank you for being with us. We thank the board members for their patience. We thank Mrs. Reed and Mrs. Trail Reynolds for being here with us. And we look forward to change at grade 5. We look forward to new things for our children. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you for being here.